Come on, don't make me use cold water again. You do remember what today is, don't you? A double wedding. You're getting married and so is Saurus.
Hello, Corvo. Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come.
Got something eating at your code, that's clear.
Been trying to learn how you're wired this whole time. To know who I'm dealing with. Thought you were just unlucky at first, but I kept watching and finally realized what your problem is. You're a dirt boy from Haywood who found the guts to walk a few extra blocks from home.
It's better to be the pilot of one's tale instead of the ship the player simply controls in their story, and not so much the character stories and whatever they do in their journeys to accomplish whatever they set out to do. And that, guys and gals, is the topic of this video right here. Yours truly, guys and gals, always had an issue with this kind of character. A character who can be customized or customizable. Characters who the player creates based on their own personal perspectives and how they want the characters to look, either based on themselves or based on whatever other factors which inspired them to create these characters and their backstories, and not so much the writers who write the characters, backstories, histories, and so forth. Dragon Age Origins and Inquisition, the third game in the series, are two of few exceptions which yours truly does love. Even in Origins though, I do have an issue with the way in which the character was presented, because this character, guys and gals, his dialogue is decided based on the player themselves, and the way the dialogue comes out is so weird and not exactly how I wanted the character to be presented, in having his or her own voice in the same way Hawk in Dragon Age 2 did. If a character has his own voice and his own say, it gives the character a lot more personality and makes the character feel real, especially to one who doesn't value customizable said character. Specifically, the protagonist, yours truly prefers to have a character, a default character with a default story and a default backstory / history of whoever he or she is, their past and present bonds, and what exactly they want, their motivations in their stories, in their journeys. This kind of thing, guys and gals, is something which a lot of players unfortunately like. Having a character who they can customize based on their own personal images, having the character look just like them, or on whatever other inspirations behind said character, as I've mentioned before. But this kind of thing, guys and gals, is a huge detriment to the characters themselves, the heroes who are supposed to be the focus and not us. Every time, guys and gals, a game like this is released, it's always said, you know, by the developers or whoever, it's your story, it's your journey, it's your victory, and blah blah blah. I can't stand that shit, guys and gals, because seriously, guys and gals, this is not fantasy, this is real life. In this world we live in, we play video games. We don't want anything from the real world in a fictional world in which we want to escape from reality and experience the story of a character, the protagonist, in whatever stories they are in. Yes, guys and gals, I get it. Someone wants to be something other than themselves. I get that. But that kind of thing, guys and gals, that kind of mentality, I don't get, and I don't personally want to understand in any way. A story can be an escapist, but I don't want to have to customize a character to look just like me. Fuck no. I don't even want to have him look like someone else. I want this character to have his own personality, or her own personality, her own look, his own motivation, her own backstory, and who he or she is. Corvo Attano, guys and gals, Corvo Attano in Dishonored, the first Dishonored game, which is one of my all-time favorites. Corvo, guys and gals, in that game is so awesome and so great, because that character, he did not have to say anything, and that's what made his bond with the outsider all the more fascinating. It's the fact that the outsider is the one who's speaking for him, him and simply observing his actions and whatever decisions he makes, and he continuously finds him to be fascinating whether he takes a life or not. And what Corvo does, guys and gals, in the few options he has, dialogue options, is so well done. He's one of those silent assassins who's pulled off so well in his story. In Dishonored 2, I don't like that game as much as Dishonored 1, even though I do love the second game. It's not as good as the first one, especially because Corvo actually speaks. What the fuck, guys and gals? Corvo not speaking is what made him so great and what made him one of the best characters in history, in gaming history, and they took that away from him in the same way they did to many other male characters, male protagonists in gaming, especially nowadays. You can have a character who says nothing, and yet this character can still do so much more than some character who speaks a lot and yet there's nothing behind him. And the same applies to characters you customize. It's about balance, guys and gals. It's about balance and how you write the character who, despite not speaking, is able to emote and translate his or her emotions, indicating that this character is indeed human. Another example is Link from Twilight Princess or Link from Skyward Sword. Link, guys and gals, especially in the final battle with Demise, that nod which Link has given to Demise, it's so great and says a lot about Link and just how courageous he is, which Demise himself acknowledges. And that scene, guys and gals, is one of the most badass scenes I've ever seen in any games. And that again, guys and gals, is how the character is written and how the animation is done. In Dragon Age Origins, when you have a character like, you know, whoever, it doesn't matter either way because the character, he does not have much emotional reaction except for some moments. Once again, guys and gals, I am not a fan of this kind of thing in gaming. It strips away the emotions, the emotional impact the players feel, in the same way those who watch a movie or TV show. Also, guys and gals, I hate this so much. In Dragon Age Inquisition, you know, the Grey Warden Stroud. Stroud, guys and gals, is the default, you know, Grey Warden who shows up to help the Inquisitor and what have you in a certain part of the game, a certain chapter in the game in which Stroud arrives. That scene, guys and gals, I mean, they could have added the Grey Warden from Dragon Age Origins, but the big issue, guys and gals, comes from the fans themselves because the developers are like, which Grey Warden should we add in the game in Dragon Age Inquisition to help out Hawke and the Inquisitor himself or herself? And because the Grey Warden has been customized by the players, they can't choose just one version of the Grey Warden, especially since the Grey Warden can be of any race. That, guys and gals, does matter in Inquisition because they have to choose very carefully, and that is another issue I have with characters you customize. It's something I can't stand, especially in cases like Dragon Age Inquisition, because again, they can't choose any Grey Wardens. It would create a backlash from the fans who are like, he's not my Grey Warden or she's not my Grey Warden and blah blah blah. Same thing, guys and gals, with Shepard. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand the fucking entitled fans who are like, you know, all pissed off and shit, especially when Shepard from the Mass Effect trilogy isn't added in, like, you know, Mass Effect 4 Andromeda or whatever. I can't stand that, guys and gals. I just want a Shepard who is human and a Shepard who, you know, arrives in whatever later installments of the game, but the issue is the same and doesn't go away. Well, guys and gals, I got not much else to say about it. Honestly, guys and gals, this kind of thing really is one of those kinds of, like, you know, topic which so many people can have a discussion about, or, like, you know, go back and forth about, and, like, you know, which character can be customized, and should characters be customized in gaming, and should there just be, like, you know, default characters, which I personally want, but, you know, it's neither here or there. V, guys and gals, V from Cyberpunk 2077 is another example of a character who, despite speaking, is still so great, and the performance behind V, especially male V, is so great, and I love him so much. I do. He does have a character and he does have emotions and he does have his own backstory. But yeah, guys and gals, that's my personal thought on this topic right here. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe if you wish, and do check out my other channel where I talk about movies, TV shows, animes, etc. Until next time, peace out, take care, adios amigos, au revoir, and sayonara.